Good morning, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. Today's topic is why you could never relax even 24 hours before your dental practice sale closing. Got a great story for you on this one. Okay, so before we get into it, as you know, we're nationwide selling dental practices. We have 10 employees. We've been doing this for 13 years. We have 2 CPA accountants, marketing director, operations director, 6 acquisition development individuals. So we got a great team. Now, if you're trying to reach us, we're now available 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter. Every day you can reach us. We pick up the phones from 8 a.m. East Coast time till 9 p.m. East Coast time. So if you have questions, want to discuss, buy a practice, sell a practice, get an appraisal, be a buyer or seller representative, we can do all that. We've been there, done that, doing it for 13 years. We have a great team to assist you. So, also, some of the information we're giving you today is for entertainment purposes only, not legal advice. So the phone number that you can reach us at is 201-663-0935, and the website is dentalpracticeguide.com or nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. So just give us a call. All right. Now, if you're thinking about selling to the DSOs, please give us a call because we work with them constantly, nonstop. We're always working with them. And at this point, we have so much experience working. We think we know who the best ones for you are. The DSOs are going through a period of change, consolidation. A lot of changes happening in the field. Some are dropping out. Some are getting stronger. Some are not buying. So we can help you. We know what the best ones are. Generally, they pay our commission, so there's no commission to you. And on top of that, they will often pay our commission. So most of the time, there's no commission to the seller. All right? I've never had one yet. And when you work with us, I'll get your legal fees reimbursed upon successful closing, based on some certain criteria. But call us, we'll talk about it. Anyway, so let's get into today's topic. You can never relax, even 24 hours before a closing. I try to tell you this in as many tapes, the chaos that goes on all the time. There's always some issue. So now I had one yesterday morning. This was a pretty smooth approaching, the sale of a dental practice approaching closing. And there was some, twists and turns, but it's pretty easy. I was surprised. I was waiting for something to happen, but nothing happened. So at 9:30 yesterday, I spoke to the buyer, seller, and everything looked pretty solid for a Monday morning closing, right? Now, that was at 9:30. At 4:30, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it became an issue. Now, we should have had that bank close statement or the wire instructions for the bank. That is termination letters for loans that the seller has for the bank payoff. So you need a specific letter from the bank. Well, she had 2 banks. One of them, the bank wrote the letter. The other one, what the doctor did was they gave a screenshot of their online account. At first, everybody thought that was successful. I thought it was acceptable yesterday at 9:30 in the morning because the buyer told me everything is looking good. So one thing led to another. By 4 o'clock, at 4:34 in the afternoon, or 4:14, the banker writes, we don't think that's going to be acceptable for the one loan, a screenshot. We need the actual bank letter, the official letter. But this was like a government loan, so it's a little trickier. Not always easy to get in touch with those guys. So that was at 4:14. But then at 4:44, the banker writes back, we may be able to do it with just a screenshot. Oh, we need the wiring instructions to the bank. Now, I don't know if there was conversation after that. I don't know if I was CC'd. I didn't find out about that because I didn't see it till later. Because I was really busy yesterday. I was just coming off of a really difficult closing the week before. I was like wiped out. So I may have not noticed that or missed that email. Last night, mind you, I was starting to relax a little bit. Now, I would never totally relax. I never exhale until the closing is done and the money hits the account. Wiring goes out. So I was not really exhaling, but I was relaxing somewhat. What a joke! You can never relax because you have to stay on this. What the key is. So last night, what happened? I get another email from one of the attorneys. Says, "Look, I'm trying to contact the seller. You gotta help me out here." This is 9:15 p.m. I just got back from dinner and partying with some friends, just relaxing a little bit. I hadn't looked at my email or text message. And the attorney says we're having trouble with the seller. Doesn't want to sign the final contract for the closing. Doesn't want to sign it. That's why I always like to get signatures several days before closing. Because the seller was saying, well, there's something wrong with the way they identify me as an entity and the difference in ownership. And they try to explain it. She just didn't, the seller, the buyer, didn't get it, didn't recognize it, didn't understand it, couldn't get their arms around it, and was hesitant about signing the final contract. The attorney called me or texted me last night. I saw the text this morning at 8:30 this morning. I called the attorney, couldn't get in touch right away, but what I did is I called the seller. And I have experience. She likes me. She knows I've been in the game a long time. Helpful that I was a dentist, I guess, provides some level of comfort. So she writes me, she picks up and says, hey, I slept on it, he or she, whoever, we always change things around. I slept on it, and I think I'm okay, she said. I'm like, whew. That's why you have to stay on your game. So I found out 9 p.m. last night. I wasn't going to call her at 9:15. I called her 9 o'clock this morning, and that's what she told me. So you need a broker. So it's a whole team. A whole team. You need a broker that's experienced. You need dental attorney on the buyer's side, experience. Dental attorney on the seller's side, experience. And bank that does dental deals. Now all three professionals, as I've said many times, are communicating. Right? They're all communicating, all right, what's going on? How can we resolve this between what the bank payoff was a government loan? Buyers get a little nervous about signing the APA, doesn't understand the entities, how they're written up, and who just didn't get it. So I'm using my experience for 13 years, 25 years as dental. I'm using my experience 13 years as dental practice broker to talk to them. Using the end, because I'm a dentist, I think it helps somewhat. They have a comfort feeling. But of course, we had a great dental attorney experienced. So you had two dental attorneys, both worked on the opposite side of the table, who knew each other and can communicate. And then the third dental bank. So these small issues going around, everybody's on the same page. You're not dealing with a new attorney for the buyer or the seller that has no experience in the dental field and no experience working with each other. That's a big deal. So, I really want you to understand that, how critical that is, how you cannot relax. And if you do relax and then you have a crisis like this, you better hope you got a broker. Like it's Saturday morning. I'm not playing golf. Yeah, I'm going to the beach. I'm ready, but I have to still work. I have to watch that phone. I have to watch it every moment. So at 9 o'clock, at 9:30, 9:15, whatever, I've alerted everybody, hey, seller's okay. She's going to sign the dental contract. Seller slept on it. She's feeling better. I can't wait till Monday morning. This is supposed to close on Monday. I can't wait till Monday morning. Oh, by the way, she called me on Saturday. No, and then wait till Monday. Everybody has to be on their game this morning, communicating this morning. You need the right team. Don't think you're going to do this with your attorney that is your special friend that has done, so to speak, he's done dental contract. No, didn't do dental contract. Your attorney, if he's not doing dental deals 10 a month or 5 a month, at least 5 ongoing, 3 to 5 a month, doing 15 closings a year at least, dental bank, you have the wrong team. And you better learn this right now, because in that 24 hours of the money you think you're saving, with your trusted attorney, no, you have to have a team that is working on the weekends. Nobody can be laxed. So once you remember this is an incident, this happens. We try to give you information from the street as it breaks. As I've told you, I don't have time for fancy studios and the blue lighting and the plants and the fancy suits. I mean, you want to listen to that stuff? It's like 6, 8 months, 2 years old. This is breaking this morning. And you've got to get on this. You cannot relax before closing. You got to be available on your game, and you better have the infrastructure, the foundation, the people that can make this thing happen. So I put out the word this morning at 9:30. I'm sure it's within a half hour. The attorneys will be aware that I had a great conversation. The seller's on board. Now we got to find out if everything's okay with the bank and the government loan, if that's all paid off. I think it is. But it's all this last minute stuff. There's no sitting back. There's no relaxing. I know you want to rejoice. I know you want to think you got it. It's 24 hours after the closing tomorrow. Well, that's not happening until 5 minutes after the closing. That's when you relax. And the wires go out and hit the banks. That's the only time you can relax, period. If not, you better be on your game as a buyer, as a seller, have the right attorneys to default to if there is a problem, have the right bank. So this is live. This is happening now. And we try to give you this stuff. We feel like we're the reporters from the front line of the war zone. We're the cop on the beat as things are happening. No fancy studios here, no suits, no blue lighting and plants. There's just no time for it. This stuff just happened. All right, so we try to give you the stuff. Be on it. Be on your game. We're here to help you. We hope that's what separates us. We're working 363 days a year for you, and we have to be on our game every single day, whether we're in the United States or we are in the South Pacific sailing on a cruise ship. You got to have access. Everybody needs access, and you, buyer, seller, have to be totally accessible. Very important. Get on this. Thank you.